Welcome to the Cyber Fishbowl podcast. This podcast is hosted by JP the Geek. We're super excited about our guest today, so let's jump right in. Welcome back to the show, where we sit down with local business leaders to explore how technology, leadership, and innovation are shaping the way we work. Today, I'm joined by Mike Heffner, CEO of two local express employment professional franchises and the Specialized Recruiting Group, a company that connects people with meaningful careers and helps businesses find the right talent to grow. Mike has spent years in the staffing and employment industry, helping companies navigate everything from hiring challenges to workforce transformation. And as technology continues to evolve, Express Employment has been right in the middle of that change, helping businesses adapt to new tools, new expectations, and an entirely new way of working. We'll talk about how technology is transforming hiring and HR, what tools are game changers and what's overhyped, and how businesses can stay human in an increasingly digital world. Mike, first off, thanks for joining us. Before we dive into tech, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what drew you to the world of employment and hiring?
Sure. Well, I started my career in the building material industry. And so I had nothing to do with employment or hiring or anything like that. But it had helping people, match up with things that they needed. And so in 2005, I decided I wanted to get out of corporate America because my job was going to either lead me to Toledo, Ohio, which doesn't sound all that exciting.
It does not.
Or stay here with my family in Indianapolis. And so I figured out that I wanted to stay here and do some things. I had always been kind of an entrepreneur at heart. And so I decided to start the Express franchise out of that.
That's awesome. That's crazy how you went from building materials to hiring people and employment. And I guess it's kind of still the same need, right? You have a need, let's fill that need.
Absolutely.
Very similar, but materials versus people are hard.
It's just figuring out how to help people with what it is that they want and then helping them get there. And whether that's a job or roofing shingles, it doesn't necessarily matter. You just got to figure out what the need is.
Yeah, that's fair. So can you tell us what your teams focus on? What makes your approach to matching talent with employers unique?
Well, I think the Express franchise model is one where that's one of the most unique things because it has us very local, involved in the local community. So we spend a lot of time here locally with things like Aspire that you're familiar with, the local chambers in the area. And so for me to be involved every single day, my partner, Phil Powell, who's involved every single day in the business, we get to know the small to medium-sized businesses. They're the ones that need our help the most. And so because we're on the ground, grassroots, we also know the best candidates because we go to church with them, we go to the grocery store with them, our kids play ball together. And so that localized touch is what really helps us be active in the community and help those businesses connect with the right people.
Yeah. Is that uncommon in your industry? I'm just not aware. Is that uncommon in your industry for is there big recruiting firms that serve nationwide or?
Absolutely. There's major national companies, and Express is a national company. We're the largest light industrial staffer in the country.
Wow.
But there's 900 offices across the country, but there's probably, maybe 750 owners of franchises that are involved in those local communities.
Yeah, that makes sense. People are unique, and you have to really get to know them to know where they're really going to fit in well. The staffing industry has changed a lot in recent years. What do you think is the biggest shift you've seen in business and how you hire people?
Well, for us, I think, we started our roots were in the light industrial business, and then we started doing office services positions, and we started doing skilled trades positions, and then that grew us into doing engineering and accounting and other types of businesses. So I think for us, the change has been how diverse we've had become to service our clients. So we wanted to be able to be in a spot where we could help them from the back dock to the CFO. And that's kind of where the Specialized Recruiting Group came out of. That's our more professional executive search style of our business. So I think for us, it's being able to help just like you guys on the tech side, you start doing one thing and then they ask you to do something else and then they help you do something else. We want to be full service for that small to medium-sized customer.
Yeah, we have grown significantly in the different areas that we serve. I know for years we were asked to do surveillance and access control and burglar alarm. Burglar alarm was like the weirdest one because it's such a niche thing. But we found that it's actually really simple and really easy for us to implement. But everyone wanted that one place to call for everything that they considered tech. And everyone always considered access control and their burglar alarm and their surveillance as a part of tech. And nowadays they really are. Everything's all interconnected to the network. But we finally added those, I think in like 2020 or 2021, where we were able to offer those services. And everybody that has it all together, they have one place to call for their IT, for their cybersecurity, for their phones, for their building access and control. And because all of it does tie together of like you have compliance and regulation. And some of that is the physical access control of those spaces. And so it's like it did make sense for us to be able to offer that. As we shift into like the technology in your world, what's a piece of technology that you resisted at first, but now you can't imagine running your business without?
I think for us, I'm starting to see how things like ChatGPT, Copilot, just in a very short period of time have really come to be a part of our daily business in how we're accessing information.
Yeah.
How we're looking to help connect people. And there's so much more information now than just on the internet when you did a search and then you had to go dive to go search again.
Oh, yeah.
And so things like ChatGPT or Copilot allow us very quickly to get the information that we need to a candidate, to a company, do a little research, and it's so powerful. So today I'm kind of like, wow, in just a few months, I can't, the quickness of the business has really made a big difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's astonishing what you can get done with some of these AI tools, and how fast it can do it, how fast it can analyze just huge amounts of data and give you concise, consolidated information to really pull out what you need to know. Obviously, it's still new tech, and so I always tell people, trust it as far as you can throw it, and well, it's software, so you can't throw it really. So you don't trust it. But
yeah, we've found some things like planning a trip, and when you use different tools, then you find like, well, that's not really the right route, and you'll even say that to the technology, to the AI, right? And it goes, oh yeah, right. You're right.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, then why'd you tell me that the first time?
Yeah. Yeah. AI is good at hallucinating and just making up stuff. So it could just make up a hotel and like tell you should stay here because this is a great hotel. And you could look it up and it's like, that hotel doesn't actually exist, but that's neat. It's neat that you thought of that. So if your business had a before tech and after tech photo, what do you think the biggest difference would be?
I don't necessarily know that you would notice anything other than the tank server that's not in the back of our office. That closet used to have a 500-pound paperweight in it.
Yeah.
But I would say for us, it's more about how we work with tech through people to be a little quicker, better, faster, right?
Yeah.
And allow us to be, in our business, it's speed and quality. And for us to be a little better on the quality side and a little more on the speed side, that just helps the client that's, I need help now.
Yeah.
And I need a person because someone's left my company or we're growing and we need that person on our team right now.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to help them with that, better, faster, quicker.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. So I don't know that you would notice it because the people are still the same, but other than the 500-pound server.
Yeah. Yeah. Not very many places have those anymore. Typically now, if we do deploy a server, they're tiny, much significantly smaller, and they do a lot less now. Most everything is in the cloud.
Yeah. Everything for us is now in the cloud, and that's really made being on the go. My lifestyle as an owner, much, much better. I have everything that I need at my fingertips with a phone.
Yeah. We obviously have nothing here that's tied to here. So everything that we do is completely cloud. which is great until AWS or Azure has a massive outage and then we can't access anything. That didn't happen just recently or anything. How have you seen technology change the kind of skills businesses are hiring for these days?
I think the most important thing we're going to see is emotional intelligence is going to be extraordinarily important. So you can't teach ChatGPT to be like sense. You can't. Intuitive. They understand fact. It understands facts and it understands data. And it responds better when you're nice to it. But at the same time, technology doesn't necessarily think like a human and doesn't always make choices like a human. And humans, I still think, are going to want to do business with other humans.
Yeah.
And we've all been, on the voicemail or IBR system when you're pressing 2 and then no one's there and just customer service, please. And I think that we're going to find a little bit of that with ChatGPT in the same exact way, because it's not going to get you what you're really looking for sometimes. And a lot of it's how much has that particular bot learned?
Yeah.
And what has it been taught?
Yeah.
And it may not be the right information. So I think humans are still going to want to deal with humans. I just think what we're going to use that technology for is to get it to a human faster and give more information to a person.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the really cool things about AI. Some of the stuff that we're looking into is like gathering more information before it gets to one of our texts. So, because that could save 20 or 30 minutes of time of gathering information. And that doesn't maybe seem like a lot, but it's a lot whenever you multiply that times the hundreds of tickets a day that we resolve. You start taking away chunks of time off of every ticket because the AI was able to collect 10 or 15 pieces of information beforehand, and it knows the questions to ask. That adds up a lot for us. So how do you decide which new tools are worth adopting or which ones are just hype?
Well, I think a portion of it is, like in our business, we've adopted a lot of tools that allow us to get to the person we're trying to reach a little quicker. So there's texting tools, right? And they go into a system that feeds to a system. Like now QuickBooks is online, integrates into, your books and things. I think anytime you have something that can help you in that way, that's a little quicker, I think that's going to be the best option.
What's one technology that your business just couldn't survive without today?
Yeah, I think that's really just, utilizing the internet and the technologies that are there today, social media. Our ability to connect with people is really the most important piece to that. So that not having the ability to connect. I know in the very beginning stages of our business, we didn't have some of that. And I think of how much quicker, like we used to place an ad in the paper.
Oh, wow.
And we would have people standing outside the door when we came in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And today it's totally different than that. People,
what's a paper?
It's a lot. It was a newspaper.
Yeah, what's a newspaper?
Yeah. And I think that where the technology has changed is it allows us to 24/7 connect with people, and we can come in the next morning. I mean, we're now doing AI interviews that have candidates that have gone through a basic level interview that we now know, okay, this is a person we want to connect with tomorrow morning when we come in. And they might have done the AI interview at 7:00 at night.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned newspaper. I used to work at the Indy Star, and so I would see how many papers they were printing. And this was years ago. Back in, I left there, I think in 2015, and they were still printing hundreds of thousands of newspapers. And it just astonished me. Obviously, most people were digital at that point. But it is amazing how everything has shifted and how everything is getting faster and faster and faster, and everybody wants stuff all the time available whenever they want it. And so it's pushing into this culture of speed. And eventually I think we're going to get to a point where we want to slow down because everything's tech, everything's a screen, and everything is fast. And sometimes, like for me, sometimes I just need to go to a park and disconnect and connect with nature a little bit and slow down. So,
well, I think, you go back to newspaper was the only place where people could learn about other people.
Mm-hmm.
So when social media started to come around, now you can start to learn about people's lives in other places. But you would go to the newspaper to figure out, what's going on in the world. And you spend a lot of time on, the 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news. And today you probably don't do that near as often as you used to, because you can wake up in the morning and you have the things that you want to follow right on your phone.
Right.
Well, I think social media has allowed us in the recruiting business to connect with people much quicker. Because who would you rather hire? Someone that you know a little bit about, potentially, or is there some stranger? Well, first thing you're going to do is you're going to reach out to all of your friends. Hey, is there anybody in my network that would want to come to work for us? Well, what we do is we do the same thing, but our network is 10 times larger than any of our clients.
Sure.
And we have more people that we know something about. So I can tell you all the people in Johnson County you don't want to hire because we know a lot about them.
Yes. You probably have lists, I'm sure.
Well, it's not as much as lists, but we just know a lot of information about people, and we know like who hasn't showed up on a job, or who ghosted someone, or who got let go because of poor performance. We know a lot about a lot of people.
Let's shift a little bit more to the human side of technology. How do you balance automation with keeping the human touch in with your customers and candidate experience?
Well, I think one of the things you got to be careful of is, we talked a little bit earlier, like what's real and what's not. So what is solid information and what is not. And so I think for us, using technology, it's the old stupid is as stupid does, right? So if the technology is not good and the information that goes into the technology is not good. So as humans, we got to figure out, like, what are we dealing with here? Is the resume that I received actually what that person did?
Yeah.
AI isn't going to know that.
Right. It's going to assume it's truth.
But a human can walk through and figure those things out as we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's where our industry is going to help other of our clients really figure out, is this really true or is it all made up?
Yeah.
And I think the other part of it is humans we need certain bits and pieces of information. So is AI going to go check a reference, or are they going to, like, I pick up the phone and actually call the reference for somebody that we're trying to help hire?
Yeah. I don't doubt that it'll get to the point where it can call references and do a little reference interview. We're probably not too far away from that if we're able to do, AI interviews of candidates. Now, whether or not I want it doing that.
Well, if you want to know if they work there and you want to know if they would rehire them, those are probably basic information.
Yeah. Simple.
But if you want AI to be intuitive enough to know what the next question is that really as a person hiring a person, really want to know, that's going to take a human
and those
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, and the subtle things to their responses, the delays that AI is not gonna notate that, well, there was a big delay in their response here of, like, they didn't know or want to answer. So,
and people will also be more truthful to someone that they've felt like there's a relationship or an integrity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really trying to help this person find a job, and that lets the guard down.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, people want people.
Yep.
People don't want machines.
Right.
We like the machines. They make our lives easier, but people still want to deal with people.
Yep.
So, when you think about the pace of change in technology, what do you think separates the companies that thrive from the ones that fall behind?
I think the companies that are going to thrive in the future are going to be the ones that have those people skills. They're going to be the ones that create an experience for the end user. Mm-hmm. So when you think about when you go to a restaurant, when you go to a retail store, when you go someplace, you either have a good experience or a bad experience.
Yeah.
And so if technology can help with that experience, so the younger folks today they want things right away, right? And they want things now. They're used to having a phone in their hand and getting what they want. A reservation, like to wait at a restaurant, why would you do that?
Right.
So I think the ability for a business to adapt to helping someone get what they want quicker is going to be the key, but doing it through a customer experience where there's a human involved, likely, and that person's going to be helping them have a better experience.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's hard to beat, if you go to a restaurant, for an example, it's hard to beat just a killer waiter or waitress. I love the, pay on the machine or scan the QR code to pay and then you leave. So that makes kind of the ending of that faster and a little bit better, I think. Because I don't need a person for that part, but the rest of it, I want that killer person. I want that person to make this experience better. It's like the simple things of like you're sitting there eating and your drink is getting low, and then they just swoop in and just drop a drink off. Machines wouldn't do that the same. They're not paying attention for the things or knowing what's coming or this portion of the meal is coming, and so they know to look out for those things. So.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine, Brian Newland. I don't know if you know Brian or not, but he's the managing partner at Bonefish.
Okay.
And so he'll come sit down with us when we go to dinner there.
Yeah.
And, hey, how's it going? How's the kids doing? What's going on, right? And he helps create an experience for us.
Oh, yeah.
As the owner, I don't know what they call that, restaurateur.
Yeah.
Whatever that.
It has a name.
Yeah, it has a name, but he makes us feel special when we come in.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people want.
Yeah.
They don't want a robot that comes to the table with their glass of wine or whatever. I mean, that's getting them that, but is that really creating the experience? You don't go to a restaurant and say, so what's good tonight? And the waitress says, man, I had the salmon, and that sauce that they put on the salmon tonight is fantastic. I had it before my shift started. What are you going to order?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is, I think it's K-Town. They have a little robot machine that actually takes you to your table. That's all that it does, is it takes you to your table, and then it's a human after that. But I think there's neat ways that are like new, where they can integrate tech or robots into different things, but it's small portions of it to me. But as a geek, like I thought that was really cool. I'm being taken to my table by this robot. I think it's like a robot cat or something. It's got a screen with a face.
Well, but that has a cool factor to it.
Yeah.
There's a cool factor to tech.
Yeah.
That creates a better experience.
Yeah. Well, and how does it know where it's at? And it takes you right to your table, right where you're supposed to go. Mm-hmm. And at some point it turned around and was asked you like how your day was or something. It turned around so that was like rolling backwards, basically, asking you questions, which it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like in our office, when you come into our office and you open the door, our front office coordinators in our Greenwood office, Stacy's there, right? Mm-hmm. And Stacy has a special factor to her.
Yeah, she
has I'm going to make your day today.
Yeah,
type factor, right? And so that's the experience that a robot's not going to necessarily have.
Oh, for sure.
And so people feel comfortable when they come in. They feel like, wow, this is a good place that I came today, right? So we've all been to that kind of a store or that kind of a facility.
She must be really empathetic.
She just has a smile and a way about her. Yeah, she used to be like a kindergarten teacher. Yeah, and so she has a way with people.
Yeah, that's incredible. So AI tools are evolving fast, right? Like every day, every hour, they're changing. New stuff's coming out every day. Old tools are dying off. New ones are being created. How do you help your team stay curious, open-minded, and confident instead of overwhelmed whenever it comes to AI and tech?
So, we're going to be going through an upcoming transition in the first quarter where we're going to go to a new CRM platform. And so, initially, you're going to have to start to find ways to help people through change, right? And I'm one that I like new things. I like to try new things. I'm more of a risk taker. But then there's other people that are on our team that are like, what? We're going to go to a new system? Mm-hmm. It's like everything that they've known for, a long period of time it's been the same.
Yeah.
And so we have to help every individual with where they're at. So some people are going to adapt really quick, and other people are going to need to play with it, right?
Yeah.
And so I imagine we're going to need to have a way for those people that are a little more resistant to change to go play in the sandbox a little bit, to get comfortable with it. And then there's others that's going to be like, just turn it on, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the adopter chart? It's kind of like a bell curve.
I've heard, seen different iterations of just how people deal with change.
Yeah.
And I think there's different steps to it, but a lot of it's how you're wired, like your disc profile, right?
No, yes. We use the adoption chart all the time because obviously we're rolling out new tech and new systems for clients all the time. We're constantly changing here a lot, but we use that chart often to kind of help clients understand, like, you will have a group of people that are ready to go right up front. Then you'll have your early adopters after that, and then you'll have your normal adoption, and then you're going to have your laggards, and then you're going to have your small portion of people that are really never going to want to come along.
They're just going to have to let those people go do something else.
Yeah, or just they don't need to use the tool or whatever.
Right.
But yes, it depends on the situation. But we use that chart all the time. So there's a lot of talk about AI replacing jobs. What's your take on how AI is really reshaping work?
I don't think it's going to replace people. I think it's going to change the type of work. Mm-hmm. And that's been my mantra as of late, is I think we're still going to need, because I think the growth that we're going to see from the change of technology is going to be tremendous. But I also think you're going to need a lot of people to take care of that growth. And one of the biggest things that's happening right now is there's not as many people in the workforce today to be able to go take those jobs. So the workforce is shrinking, and I think we're going to see a tremendous growth, and that's going to be an issue. Mm-hmm. But I also think the jobs are going to change. So the people that lack some of the people skills, and if they're just doing, like, we're not seeing orders today for data entry.
Sure.
We're not seeing orders for basic receptionist. There's somebody that's not at the door, or there's a prompt at the door, or there's a thing that you got to put your information in, and then it calls that person.
Right.
There's not a live Stacy sitting at that front desk, even though, like, in my business, I can't ever imagine not having someone like that.
Yeah.
But that's the experience that I want my customer to have. So I don't think it's going to get rid of jobs. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's going to get rid of all the jobs. Well, when you think back years ago, when we had all the technology changes back years ago, and they said all these jobs were going to go away, they didn't.
Yeah.
They just changed.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like the Industrial Revolution. Mm-hmm. A lot of machines came in and replaced a lot of very specific jobs, but then a lot of new jobs came about, and so the jobs are changing.
Yeah, there's going to be work. It's just going to be different.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a little different than that, because this won't replace. I don't think it'll end up replacing as many jobs as like the Industrial Revolution with machines and robots that are able to do so much. I think that AI will end up augmenting people's roles more than replacing them as a whole.
I agree.
I think data entry and stuff like that, I think is pretty much gone. Everybody wants that automated. Nobody wants people doing data entry.
Yeah, I mean, now when I go to send an email, I hit my dictate button on my computer, and I can talk to it, and I can talk faster than I can type.
Yeah.
So I use that, and then I go back and edit it.
Yeah. Copilot's pretty cool. So where do you see technology changing your industry the most in the next 5 years?
I really think it's helping our customers understand the changes. A lot of people aren't going to have the specific skills that the company needs out of the gate. So they're going to need to either be willing to pay extra to hire those skills, or they're going to need to teach and bring people up and upskill those people. So I think for us, it's helping the client really understand, what is it that you need, what is the capabilities that you have, and you're not going to be able to get 10 out of 10. You might be able to get 7 or 8 out of 10, but then find the means to, because the transferable skills are going to be there. So how do I help the client figure out, these are things that you can teach someone, and these are things that you just can't?
For sure. Is there any trends of things that you think are just overhyped or exaggerated?
I think the whole AI is going to cut all these jobs, kind of thought process.
The fear.
The amount of money that's being spent right now on that technology is just insane.
Oh, yes.
Right. And so I do believe we're still going to, go to the store, and we're still going to take our kids to T-ball, and, we're still going to go to church and be with people. And I mean, it's not like we can now watch our church online.
Yeah.
But we prefer to go in person.
Yes.
Right. But it's kind of nice when you're, on vacation and you're coming back and you can watch it while you're sitting in the passenger seat. Right.
Yes.
So
100%.
I think that's where I think things are going to change. I don't know that there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, it's going to be, totally different, and this whole group of jobs are going to go away. I don't see that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely been a lot of fear around AI.
Right.
Obviously, there's the whole, like it's going to end the world fear of,
right.
Oh gosh, what were those movies called? I'm drawing a blank right now. They're the movies from the 80s. The robot. Oh my goodness. Terminator. Yes. Thank you. Yes. The Terminator and iRobot, and, there's all of those things, which there is a company in California making humanoid robots. And it's like, did we not watch that? Like, what are we doing? But anyways, yes, there's a lot of fear, I think, around like it's going to eliminate like all of the jobs. And I just don't think that that's going to be the case. I think it's going to help people a lot. I think one thing that it will do is it will eliminate the need for so many jobs. So say a company needed, 100 CSMs, and then now they may only need 25 because AI is augmenting those remaining 25. So I don't think that it will replace all of them, but I think if it can gather information and help and speed things along, then it will reduce.
We're seeing warehouses today that have robots that are doing certain tasks, and they've automated a lot of different things. But when there's certain decisions that need to be made that require some level of intuitiveness,
right?
That's where the human skill is going to be. So I just think it's like the Armageddon of AI is just not there.
Yeah. Robots can move boxes around, but they can't really think about anything other than I'm moving this from here to there.
Right.
So you mentioned the 500-pound server, the paperweight. That's a big paperweight. Is there any other old tech still lurking around that you think should just go to a museum?
Well, we recently upgraded just a small bit, but I had an old JVC receiver that I had like in high school.
Okay.
That was running the radio that went over the speakers that are in the office.
Yes.
And we had the antenna in there so we could listen to some sort of white noise in the office.
Yeah.
And so we've upgraded that little piece of equipment now.
Okay.
But
nice.
That's the kind of thing that stuck around for a long time because it actually worked.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother collects. We end up collecting old tech from clients all over the place. We'll go in and they'll be like, oh yeah, we've got this pile of old tech over here, and we go look at it and it's like, wow, that switch is from the 80s, or some of it's really cool. And so my brother, we've been collecting it, and one day we're going to build a little museum in here somewhere of all the old tech that we've collected from everywhere.
I have an old rotary phone.
Nice.
That's on the wall in my garage.
That's awesome. I don't think we've collected one of those yet. Right now they're into collecting projectors, old projectors.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple of our team members here really like collecting the old projectors.
I still have mine from when I was a kid. My mom left it with us, and we've got old videos from when, opening Christmas presents on Christmas Day. And
that's right.
I still have the projector. It's been a while since we've gotten that screen and projector out. So.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think they have anything cool like that. They're just buying the old projectors to put on a shelf. If AI could take over one task in your life immediately, which would you happily surrender? And why is it email?
Well, I'm still kind of an email geek. And I like to handle my own emails. I've tried to use Copilot with that.
Yeah.
And it's not really been very successful in saving me any time.
Me too. Yeah.
I got to thinking about that the other day because I'm doing a Copilot pilot, which is kind of funny. how it integrates all things Microsoft into, our workday. But, for me, I think if I had a way, because I like to listen to podcasts, I like to read books, I like to take in as much information as I can. If there was a way that I could get summaries of different things and then have a place that I could put them so that I kind of stack them based off of when I have free time, then I have really quick access. But I have 4 different podcast places that I can go and they're constantly coming in and I'm like, I don't want to read that one. I just want to read this one. And I want to listen to that one. And so if there was a way to bring all that together and have it be this is the book that I want to read, but I don't want to read the whole book. I just want to read 4 chapters of that book.
Sure.
And so if there was a way for me to take all that information and put it in a clear, better way, then I probably want even more.
I wonder if ChatGPT is capable of doing that yet. Some things it's probably hard to get a copy of the book online to get a copy of the whole book.
Yeah, you can get transcriptions sometimes from Chat, and I've done that. There's a couple podcasts that I've taken, and there's an app where you can have it transcribe the podcast for you.
Okay,
and then you can pull what are the top 12 points out of that,
right?
And then can you give me the transcript just for those 3 top points? I'm talking about I want ChatGPT to know what I want, and I want to have it ready to go. So if I'm in the car and I've got 45 minutes to go someplace, it's almost like going to an FM radio station, and a certain kind of music. Then I know this is that kind of content. Yeah.
Well, it's on its way, I think.
There we go.
So, so what's next for Express Employment locally? Anything new or exciting coming?
I think for us, it's the professional business. We've got a pretty good following of customers and people on the light industrial side of things, but the specialized recruiting group is really for us where, we're placing more people in accounting, we're placing more people in engineering and quality and customer service and sales. Those are a lot of the types of positions that companies are looking for, and they're figuring out that they need help finding those people because there's not as many of those folks that are out there.
Yeah.
And it's harder to get them to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
I kind of think the days of just posting an ad on, an Indeed or a Career Builder, that just not as many people are going there because the information you get back from those companies, you'll place an ad for an accountant and you'll get a dishwasher.
Right.
It's
yes.
No, that's not really what I'm looking
in there. Yeah. Many times. It is hard to find some of those more advanced roles to find the right person.
We just had a position just this last week, and we were able to turn and help a company find a controller in about a week that was very specific to their industry, very specific to what they wanted. The young man that got the job was up and coming. He went. Come to find out, he went to the same church that his daughter goes to. And we just helped make that connection. Yeah. And it was the right culture. It was the right skill sets. It was the right mindset. And it was just perfect for that guy. And it was because we knew a little bit about the company, and we've been doing business with them for quite a while. And we knew a little bit about this individual that was already in our system today.
Nice.
And we just helped connect.
Yeah, that's really cool. If anything I've learned over the last 5 to 10 years is that it's a really small world.
Very small.
It's amazing how many people that you didn't know that you knew, and just how everybody's so interconnected. And it's we're a smaller city relatively, but it's, we're still in the millions here around the Indianapolis area. And it's amazing how many people that you didn't know that you knew.
That decision in that week of time is going to change that business. This guy really needs the help. Mm-hmm. And this young guy is looking for the next really next level opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to change both their lives.
Yeah.
And just
amazing.
Like that.
So. Yeah. I love it. For other business leaders listening, what's one piece of advice that you'd share about embracing technology and leading through change?
I think, we talked a little bit about that earlier. It's really realizing that everybody is going to deal with change differently. And so I think it's having a plan to allow the early adopters to run and play with it quickly. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, just give me this stuff. I want to touch it. I want to push buttons on it. I want to, I'm the guy that's going to go, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that, right?
Yeah.
But then there's somebody else that's going to be like afraid to push the button, afraid to make the change. And they're going to be afraid to say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
And they're going to be afraid to voice their opinion because like my opinion doesn't matter, or, last time I did that, I got in trouble, or what have you. So everybody's going to adapt to change differently. And so the businesses that are smart are the ones that are really looking at how everybody learns, how everybody deals with change, and allows that kind of to play out.
That's really good. That's why we go over that adoption bell curve often. And whenever we have big projects for clients, like say it's like a migration from an on-site file server to like Teams or something, we usually want them to build a team of their champions, and then they will go first and learn how to use it to be able to help the other staff. That's super, super critical. I'm glad you said that, because it kind of reaffirmed like, we should continue to do the way that we roll out these projects this way, because for us, like sometimes we don't see the mass effect of that, because we're not there all day, every day with them. So we don't get to see the full effect of that, but that's really good. So where could listeners learn more about you and Express Employment?
Well, one of the easiest ways is just our website. If you go to expressindiesouth.com or you go to expresscolumbus.com, and the same thing with Specialized Recruiting Group is embedded into both of those different sites. But all of our jobs are posted there. We actually have a new 5-series challenge type thing for business owners to go through. It's called Thriving Amidst Turbulent Times.
Fantastic.
And, there's 5 challenges there. One of them is technology shifts. Actually, your podcast is on the technology shifts page.
Love it.
And we really try to find resources for our clients there, but that's where you can get all things Express and jobs and employment, and learn a little bit about like wonder what that job pays, or what kind of skills does that need, or how do I go hire? How do I go through and help my HR team with certain things? There's a lot of information on our website.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been fantastic.
Well, I've enjoyed being here. I've enjoyed learning a little bit about your guys' business, and I think you guys are doing some great things. So we're both working with small to mid-sized businesses here in Central Indiana, and so it's been neat to learn a lot more about you guys as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Cyber Fishbowl podcast. This podcast is hosted by JP the Geek. I'm Jesse Pearson. JP the Geek does managed IT services, cybersecurity, and AI services. We're here to help you with anything that you need. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.